Well, alright, alright, alright. Welcome to another one of BumpmyStump's World of Tanks Xbox 360 Tank Opinions. We're not going to do a review because there's enough reviews out there that mine are going to be so much more informal. I've only done one other one I did on the KV-1S, I believe, and hadn't gotten back to doing another one. But today we're going to look at the T95E2. I'm liking it. Sort of like McDonald's, I'm loving it. Not so much the McDonald's, but the T95E2, good tank. It really is. It has its downfalls. However, I have had games, I don't know what my stats are exactly in it. They're not great, but the tank is fun to play. That's what matters. It's just the right combination of punchy gun, quick enough traverse, quick enough turret traverse, good enough armor, and decent enough aim time, decent enough accuracy. It doesn't excel in greatness in anything. However, it does everything pretty good. I'm glad I purchased it. I was on the fence with buying them. I was like, yeah, World of Tanks been pissing me off lately. Maybe I shouldn't buy anymore. Not spending so much money on it right now. It's just, if I'm getting sour in the game, don't spend more money on the game. That's why I didn't buy the whole Founders Pack, and I wished I had now, because I did end up going to get the Chaffee too after. So it would have made more sense to buy the whole pack and got the other little tank free or whatever. But hey, wouldas, couldas, shouldas. Back to the T95E2. The T95E2 has decent enough slope on the front that it will bounce on occasion. Decent enough slope or angled roundness of the turret that it will bounce on occasion. The only really downfall I have with this tank is that stupid cupola. It's just huge, it's flat on the front, and it is going to get you killed more often than not. It's got great, or at least really good, drawing a blank now. We'll move on to the mobility. The mobility is a mixed bag of good and bad. Once it's going, it gets going. Once you hit soft ground, it slows the hell down. I was in a game last night and there was a, I don't remember if it was an E7, I think it was an E75. Might not have been. Might have been a Tiger 2. One or the other. Was Arctic region, and he was over in the corner, and one of the other mediums had gone down, tried to push him into the water. And, hey, forgetful Joker. And he didn't succeed, so I went to do it, and when I first hit him, I almost pushed him in, and then I backed up, and I went back for another little push, and he slid in at that point, and I couldn't stop. The brakes on this, compared to other tanks, are absolutely atrocious. I flew right down over the hill. Once I had a little bit of momentum with the hill, that was it. Boom, right over the top of him, and into the water I went. Stupid move on me, but it wasn't the only time it's done it. I had another game later, I didn't go into the water, but I was going to go down a hill slowly to, I had to get down over a hill to get to where the fighting was, and I went to go slowly. I was going fast to get there, and went to slow down just before I get to the crest of it, and the minute it hit the crest, it just whoom, right down, and I lost, I don't know, a third of my health, and took out something, I don't know. So, once you hit a certain slope on this thing, it doesn't like to stop. So keep that in mind when you play it. The elevation of the gun is good. So if tanks are above you, you can get shots on them. Also, if you're cresting a hill, the gun depression on the gun is pretty darn good. The only thing that'll hurt you on that point is the stupid cupola on the roof, because of course when you're trying to crest a hill and shoot, the gun can do it, but the cupola will get you killed. So you got to keep that in mind. We'll take a peek at the my crew in it. I took the crew out of my M46 medium, So I figured, well, I'll jog it back and forth. If I play my M46, I'll stick it back in. And while I'm playing this tank, I will use it in this tank. I did change one thing, because I've already been ammo racked 3 times. I don't know, I've probably played 20 games. And I've been ammo racked 3 times already. So I got the safe stowage perk. And the first game after I got it, I got ammo racked first shot. So, I think I'm going to go put the ammo rack thing there under my equipment. Get rid of improved vents maybe. This is the equipment I have on it right now. Is a medium caliber tank gun rammer, enhanced gun lane drive, and improved vents. Again, I think I might get rid of one of them and put the ammo rack perk, whatever not perk, but whatever the heck it is. You know something? Sometimes I do these videos and my brain just draws a blank. I don't want to dismount it just to look, whatever it is that keeps the ammo rack from smacking against each other, whatever it's called. Safe storage. No, that's the perk, right? Yeah. Anyways, you know what I'm talking about. For some reason, my mind's just drawn a blank. It always does this during videos. I'm trying to get something out, like gun depression was what I was trying to think of a couple minutes ago, and just couldn't think of it for some reason. And then a minute later, it popped in my head. But anyways, we're going to take a look at the package that comes with it. It's a T95E2 turret. It's got its own turret, which I don't believe so. I think it's more like a mixture of an M46 turret or something. It's got that big, huge, bulge on the top, which really sucks. It's got a 90mm M41E1 gun, whatever that is. It's a decent gun. We'll read through the thing here. Development began in September 1954 with many components in common with other experimental prototypes. The T96, a total of 9 prototypes were manufactured, 5 out of them which had the 90mm gun. 4 vehicles were planned. And turret of the T96 tank, as well as its 105mm gun. However, the turrets on the T96 were not ready at the time, and so they used this gun. I didn't get to read it all, but they used this gun and called it the T95E2. I know it's something to that effect. Because the turrets of the T96 were not ready at that point, 2 of the new vehicles received turrets from the mass-produced M48A2 tank. See, I knew that was something to that effect. And you can tell with the turret. It's got that big bulge, and it's slightly bouncy, but not great. But it is a premium tank. It's not supposed to be great. It's got a Tier 10 Continental, AWOL, blah, blah, whatever motor, and T95E2 tracks. We'll look through this right here. 560 horsepower. Maybe 560 horsepower, but not a very much torque, because it doesn't get up and go from the get-go. However, the top speed, I've had it 50, 58, 57 kilometers. And if you're on hard-packed ground, it'll get there fairly quickly. I mean, the first 4 seconds or so is kind of, but after it gets going, it's not too bad. You get 8 rounds per minute, 173 pen with 240 damage with normal shells, 250 pen with 240 damage with premium. So the premium shells have a lot more pen. Keep that in mind. And they do work. If you need to use them, they work pretty good. Aiming time is 2.29, accuracy 0.36, and that does show once in a while. It's not horrible, but it's not great. Traverse speed of 36. I consider a traverse speed of 40 to be good. 36 for a medium, a little low, I think. Turret armor is 177, but again, it is sloped and angled pretty well, pretty rounded. So it's definitely more than that. Not more armor, but it feels like more than that. 390 view range and 32 traverse for the turret, which is another somewhat downfall. I like to see a turret that traverses faster than the tank itself. So it does have its low points. However, for some reason, it all seems to come together pretty darn good. I don't like using it as a front line. You can't rush through a bunch of tanks in a town and get away with it. It's not quick enough. However, you can take a couple shots, get your tank spun, and get out of there if you play smartly. Play smart. and move to another position and take another couple shots. It is fairly decent at that, you know, come out, shoot, relocate, come out, shoot, relocate, and while being not unbelievably fast, it still seems to work with this tank for some reason. My crew, like I said, I took out of the M46. Skills and perks, we're training off-road driving, which I was going to switch one for that, because maybe like repairs, maybe, but then I was like, yeah, I'll just work through it. But this tank needs it. It needs any help it can get on soft ground. We got Brothers in Arms, Sixth Sense, Mentor, Repairs, Safe Storage, Clutch Braking, Snapshot, Smooth Ride. So, I mean, we've got some pretty decent skills on this tank, and perks, and they seem to work pretty good. I played it for the first few days with just a base crew, and I felt I needed just a little bit more help. Not that it needed a lot, but I just knew it would be better with a little more help, a little better crew in it, so that's what I did. Supplies, we carry 42 of the regular armor-piercing shells. We carry 20 of the Heat M34-8. We carry 2 of the high explosive. High explosive really only for artillery, really, because your penetration is so low. And the standard small and manual fire extinguisher, which the manual fire extinguisher has been used a couple times in this tank so far. Because, like I said, it gets ammo rack, and I've caught on fire. I think I've been ammo rack 3. With the last game, I think it was 4 times. And the ammo rack, I haven't had one explode yet, I don't believe. Or maybe once. I think I have once. I've had the top blow off once, so I have had the ammo rack blow up once. But I've had it catch on fire, I think, 2 times. So, yeah, not so sure if it's an issue with it or not. We'll figure it out. I only have, like I said, probably a 20-25 game base to go on. So, equipment, we've already looked at it, but I will go through medium caliber gun rammer, enhanced gun lane and drive, and improved vents. And I've got camo on all of it. I think I got the... I didn't buy... You know something? This is the first. You guys are going to see me buy a winter camo. I don't like much of the winter camos, but I will be keeping this tank. And now that winter camo isn't the only camo that shows up in the garage constantly, I think I'll buy it. 100 permanent? Yeah, what the hell. So we got that permanent. We've got the stripey one because I think it looks good when the stripes go horizontal and not vertical. Come on, switch. Switch. There we go. And they go vertical on the front because the turret's so rounded. A lot of turrets aren't rounded like that, so they don't look like they go vertical, but they go from the side. Basically, it's a horizontal pattern. And some of these, when you get this pattern on them, all the lines are up and down vertical, and they don't look good at all. But they look cool in this tank. And then we'll switch to this one, and I always pretty much go with this with American, just because I think the colors are cool. I like the orange and brown yellow mix, yellowish orange mixture. It looks kind of cool. And I normally don't like this camo on American tanks, but I think it looks this tank can pull it off. It looks pretty good like that. So no emblems or anything like that, because yeah, I'm not into that stuff. So, but yeah, so far, whoops, didn't mean to do that. So far, I really kind of like this tank. I think the gun is a little slower reload, I think. I could be wrong, but a little bit slower than the Super Pershing. Am I wrong on that? I don't remember what the reload was in the Super Pershing. We get 8 rounds per minute in this, and the Super Pershing gets 7. So it's a little faster reload. I thought it was a little slower. It feels slower for some reason. I'm not sure why, but the reload feels a little bit slower. But of course, 7.8 and 8 rounds, it's so close anyways. It's pretty much identical for the most part. But for some reason, this tank maybe it's the whole tank seems a little slower. Like I said, it's kind of sluggish. When they sold it in the store there, it said, you know, the fast, get to your blah 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 fast, and it's not a fast medium. They're not lying, because on top end, 50, 52 kilometers per hour or whatever, that's decent. It's not slow, but it's just, It should say something like, get there with this sluggishly fast, or something, because it is slightly, it's not a quick turning turret, it's not a quick turning tank, it's not quick to get up to speed, but once it's like the Americans, you know, the patents are that way. They're not overly quick, but they just seem to work. So, I've only played, I don't know what my stats are in this tank. Hell, let's go see. You guys will see all my stats right straight down through. T95E2, 43% win rate, and that's it, on 23 games. 23 battles, 10 victories, 13 defeats, 30 enemies destroyed. So I got more than one tank destroyed per battle. I've only survived 9. Hit ratio is 75%, and 3 medals. I guess I really don't need to show the medals. I got a mastery in it. Obviously, whatever. That's a little deceiving, because the first probably 9 or so games in this tank were crap. My teams were absolutely horrible. So looking at that 43%, it really shouldn't have been that way, because I think, like, if you take my 23 games, take 9 off them, so then I'd only have, 5 defeats in 12, 13, 15 games, 9 defeats in 15? No, that doesn't sound right. I don't know. Whatever. My brain ain't working. But if you took the 9 games that the team were just absolutely atrocious away, and even give me a 50% there, this would be above 50% on wins. If half of those teams were decent, and we had got half the wins, it would have been, 14 victories and 9 defeats or something, you know what I mean? And it just would look much better. But the first, like I said, probably at least 8, maybe even 9 games I had in this tank, I think only one of them was decent, and the rest were just atrocious. And it wasn't that I didn't know how to play it, because it's not a hard tank to learn how to play. It was the team I was on, the idiot team. And the last couple days, I haven't been getting on the idiot team quite as bad. The game's been a little bit better. Not saying I've done great in the tank. I've done average in most games, and above average in a couple games, and below average in a couple games. But overall, for some reason, I like the tank. It's worth buying if you can. I think it's still in the store as of right now, and if you want a decent medium tank, if you don't expect it to play like a light, you want a little bit more armor than a light, and a little bit more punch in the gun, and a little bit more, and a little bit more, but a little bit less speed, and a little bit less, but like I said, if you want kind of a balanced, not great at anything, but overall pretty decent at everything, medium at tier 8, and you want a premium, this isn't a bad route to go. So keep it in mind. Hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, this is just my opinion. I welcome yours. And yeah, I guess I'll catch you next time. If you guys want to see more of this type of video where I just kind of ramble on about a tank that I have, let me know, because I'll do more. And if you want me to do more, then hey, let me know. That makes sense, doesn't it? As usual, comment, rate, subscribe, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, tell me what I did right, tell me what I did wrong, and again, let me know if you like these videos. Catch you on the battlefield, and remember, shoot the red ones.